在训练赛的部分就更多，所以就学习到了更多，然后让我们的团队更进步这样子。
During my time here, we have some practice match with the teams from WRL, and I think that helped us a lot and help us evolve as a team.
And finally, do you have any message to all of the fans of Flash Wolves out there who have been cheering for you all this time?
那最后你有没有什么想要对所有闪电狼粉丝讲的呢？
希望我们下一站打 JT 能够顺利晋级。
I hope we will get into even the next stage with the fight with JT.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Sarah. Back to you guys on the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Mika Fabs there with Isera. And I think if there was one new hero that emerged from that squad, Isera. We said it was all about Bruce, and maybe some support cash from Cookie, but Isera showed up huge, especially in those wins for Flash Wolves as they move on to the knockout stage. But now, it's time. The final match of the day, and it's all on the line for North America. Immortals is taking on Rolster Y from Korea, the #1 seed from the WCK. I almost said LCK there. WCK. Yeah. Two great teams, two #1 seeds. Who has the edge here, Stuart?
Oh, I mean, to start things off, let's talk about like KT. Let's talk about Nomel as well in the support role. I think Nomel has been the big surprise factor for me in this group stage. I think coming into this squad, he's really new. He's just been really a sub most of the time. But now coming into it, he's really stepped up his game. He's really showed that, you know, even though he is mainly a mid lane player, he can still fit into that support role really well.
I definitely think Nomel has done a fantastic job playing the Engage champions. Yeah. Now, the odd thing is playing Enchantress is where he seemed to slip up a little bit, kind of mispositioning a couple of times there. So hopefully that doesn't happen for them today.
Hopefully. I mean, I think that he only played. I think he played
the Lulu game.
Vayne one.
Yeah,
it was a Lulu Vayne game. Yeah, it was the last game against. Can't remember. It was one of the WR.
Don't recall, but
it was a Lulu Vayne game. But I think that support matchup, especially with Charm as well. You know, he brought his special Dr. Mundo yesterday as well. I think that support matchup is going to be really exciting to watch.
Against JDG, I believe.
Yeah.
Omo, what's your key matchup here?
Well, it's very simple for me. I'm looking at Luna all the way. Even though he had a fantastic performance on the Vayne Lulu, I think what really surprised me, what really gave me hope for Rolster Y was his performances on Varus. His ability to constantly get prio, constantly maintain good positioning. Without much support from his team, he gave them the freedom to excel because he didn't need any resources. He was just so good by himself.
Yeah, definitely. Again, Luna's been on everyone's list as a player to watch, and even in that, as you said, the JDG's matchup was very fun and very active, but as they fell a little bit short, but he's been the shining light. But if someone's got to represent for North America and say what it's going to be, I'll do it here as we see some of the stats that Luna's been pumping out. All right, thank you very much. Stats are up. Let's get to North America, baby. It's got to be the main man, the Korean Canadian. It's Hoon in the mid lane versus Zero. I think the artist formerly known as Isaac has been with the squad for a little while, changed his name, now starting in the mid lane. Hoon has stepped up for this squad. Again, didn't play in the first series as starting everyone's favorite streamer in North America, formerly of Tribe Gaming, had the start, but then Hoon comes on in and showed the leadership necessary for this squad, and then in that willing to play the Singed, which we haven't seen any other North American squad play that very successfully. I thought he played that to the edges very well. And then in that game 3, willing to go to a comfort pick and perform with the Diana.
I think Hoon has definitely, come in. I think he's one of the main cores of this squad as well. I think it's really great to see Hoon come back as well. I think he's going to be one to look out for, definitely. I think I've got to agree. You got to keep an eye on him. You got to make sure you try and shut him down as well because he's the main core.
All right, well, there's one more elimination at stake here. Kenga said he would shave his beard if Immortals don't make it out of group stage. I feel like he should be worried here again one more time to see the world of Kangas. That's current Kangas on the left. That was Kangas before the bet. That was Kangas after the bet. There's truck driver Kangas. All right, prediction time, y'all. Is it just me on the copium? We got
I think
enough.
it'll
We got
just
enough
be
to go
you.
around. All right.
2-0. Roaster Y.
Easy, baby, easy. No
Easy.
hope
We're
for
on the
NA.
same side again.
No
Feels good,
hope.
huh?
No way,
No.
but hey, look, we almost got the Omega prediction right. The draft, they just need to execute a little bit more here. Immortals showing up last game gives me faith.
You might
that they're
also
gonna be able to
nearly
pull it
get the Immortals prediction right, but you won't.
All
And that would make it
enough
hurt
of,
more.
Enough of you,
Yeah,
Stuart.
exactly,
Enough of
yeah.
you, Stuart. We are set to kick off our final match of the day. So let's send it over to Kangas and Hell's Devils for the call.
I'm
Thank
ready.
you, D-Gon. Get that out of here.
look at
We're not going to need that. We're not going to need that. Hell's okay. D-Gon said it. I believe it. Immortals can take this. Oh, boy, I know 2-0 might be the probable outcome. Might be what everybody's expecting.
Your beta's getting off.
But there's got to be one Western team. At this point, it's not just NA. At this point, it is everybody that is hoping for a Western team to make it into the knockout stage.
Oh, yeah.
We got all the fan energy now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Everyone is standing behind NA right now. Everyone wants to have at least one Western team making it, but Rolster Y is not going to allow that.
Such a scary team,
is-
man. Like, Rolster Y took a game off of JDG. And they had a close series against them overall. This is the #1 seed from the WCK. Nothing to take away from them, nothing to, disrespect as an opponent. They are the favorites coming into this one, let's be honest.
And
here.
Rolster Y as well. They have possibly the scariest Dragon laner in the world. They have Luna. And, I mean, at this point, it's even worth to just ban away Vayne from Luna. He is the best Vayne in the world. He is one of the best at any other ADC. He'll play the ADCs. Nobel is going to support him with the Enchantress, and he's going to carry a game, regardless of them losing the early game. So Immortals has to be able to deal with Luna on those ADCs. However, they have Charm on the support, and he has showed a lot of creative drafting. He picked Mundo yesterday, and it worked like a gem.
Yeah, the thing that won Immortals a lot of their games was creativity. It was finding things that work for them. And that is what I want to focus on, as Corki prioritized as Blue 1 for Rolster Y. No surprise, it is still the most picked champion.
That's just such a power pick to always have, right? Every single time it's the same story. Corki with the packages. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It's just a pick, you pick it, and it works. So the question is right now, how do you counter it as Immortals? And that's a Singed. It's such an early Singed. And while Singed is a really good pick, Hoon is gonna be playing it. Can you really pick it this early in the draft? Because there's so many opportunities for us to counter, and that's the Kha'Zix as well.
I like the Ziggs as a second pick here for Immortals. They have a lot of range, it's very strong. Rolster Y, though, the Kha'Zix has been picking up a lot of wins, especially here in the group stage, and Garen to pair with it.
So I find it very risky for Lebmont to pick that Jax, right? He picks it into the Kha'Zix and into the Garen. Garen's ultimate, yet again, goes right through everything. So it's a bit dangerous to pick Jax and also the Kha'Zix. You're playing against Do. You're playing against one of the best junglers, and Kha'Zix is one of those types of junglers that can cancel out Jax. If he invades, he can absolutely demolish Jax and just not even allow him to get into that late game.
It means that Immortals have a little bit more scaling in their pocket, though, so if they can get to a later state of the game, the Jax, the Ziggs, the Singed, they can all come online, and that's how Immortals was winning a lot of their games against Liberty, who they last played here in the group stage lower bracket. So we're into the next round of bans, Thresh taken off, Shen taken off.
Yeah.
We'll see what Immortals prioritizes next. A lot of supports overall.
So, Immortals banning away the Thresh, I feel like they can deal with it. They can deal with it with the Mundo. You don't have to ban away the Thresh, but it seems like they really don't want to see no Mel on the Thresh. But Kangas, Dragon Lane and support is still left open. Rolster Y has the opportunity to pick those hyper carry champions. Vayne is still open. Any ADC is open, and also we have the Lulu open, which Nabal loves to play with Luna.
The thing about Luna is it plays pretty much everything. Like, they could go for the hyper carries, but they also could allow Zero to play on the Corki, be the carry, Do to play on the Kha'Zix, be the carry, instead of opting for Luna's our only primary carry. They can still pivot around and have shown a lot of flexibility. Immortals, they get to lock in something right now. I think support's probably the avenue. Try and give Zell well, I guess you already see the Garen, so probably not counter-frag, but could be Garen mid.
Could be Garen mid indeed. Garen, yeah, and that's a Gragas. Another flex pick as well. Could be going into support. Could be going in the Baron lane. Immortals, that's a great pick because they don't give any information to Rolster Y right now. They can decide, or we want to put Gragas in the support if we want to have heavy engage. Or they can decide, hey, we want to put him in the Baron lane to have a good Baron lane matchup. So as Rolster Y, do you just pick the ADCs? Varus is banned, which Luna played phenomenally on, by the way. So the question is, are they going to pick the ADCs? I think they will, Kangas. I really think they will.
Well, they could just put Luna on the Corki. Luna on Corki and then Garen mid for Zero. I honestly think that's what, now that I'm analyzing this draft a little more, set for the support role, they can then go for a Baron laner instead here, just because Garen's been played a lot into the Singed.
I want you to be wrong. I want to see Luna on an ADC. It makes a lot of sense what you're saying, but I hope that Rolster is thinking like I'm thinking. Pick just the hyper carry ADC. I just want to see Luna play Vayne. I just want to see him play the crazy ADCs.
Let's see. Let's see what they go
Oh.
for. Yeah! The middle lane Garen. We've seen this so many times at Icons.
Morgana's open though. That's one of the champions that works very well into this. You're up against 4 melee champions. Darius is open. You have all those types of champions that work incredibly well into the 4 melee champions. So it's a bit risky for Rolster White to pick this. Although Fiora works well into melee champions as well. Immortals has 3 of them. So like, it's a double-edged sword. Both drafts seem to be very good. It just depends on what Immortals picks right now. And that's a Lee Sin. Not necessarily the right pick into this, but that's Lepont saying, hey, I want to win this early game.
And it's Zello
on the Jax.
This is something Zello has piloted way back. Even like, if we look back to summer, this is something that he had played a lot more when it was more in the Baron lane.
But the thing is, Kang,
Interesting choice.
it doesn't work in this meta. It just doesn't work. I want to see Zello prove us wrong, but why does it not work? Let me explain.
Okay.
Jax is not the type of champion that does very well in 1v1s. And especially, it seems to be a Fiora. Yeah, you're not going to win that. And when Fiora goes for Hullbreaker, first of all, she's going to win those 1v1s. Secondly, you cannot be team fighting as a Jax when there is a Fiora split pushing. And what is Jax good at? It's team fighting. So Zello is going to be having... It's going to be a rough one for Zello. He's going to have to decide, hey, do I have to stay in my lane or can I roam around, allow the enemy Baron laner to push and team fight?
Elimination on the line for 2 regions here. Who advances to the knockout stage? WCK, Rolster Y, or WNS Immortals? Game 1 can decide a lot in a series. Momentum's real. Getting that first win feels amazing. And based on the drafts, I gotta say, I am leaning slightly to RY.
I'm leaning to RY all the way because I just don't see the Jax Baron lane working. You know, it can work in solo queue, but against these types of teams, against Rolster Y, they'll know how to deal with it. And I think it's not gonna work, especially because they have that Garen. You could even put the Hullbreaker on the Garen and allow the Fiora to go to the mid lane. And then Garen with a Hullbreaker as a Jax, you're just never gonna be able to kill that.
The one thing I'll say though, when the chips are down for Immortals, Lamont on the Lee Sin. This is, throughout most of the WNS, was their primary engage carry. He is insane at the mechanical junglers. And seeing this Lee Sin, this could be a win condition as well for Immortals. As you had said, this is something that they can use earlier in the game.
They have to use earlier in the game. It's not something they can use, they have to. Because if you don't use that Lee Sin in the early game, the Kha'Zix is going to be scaling up. That composition of Rolster is going to be very scary to deal with. And it seems like both junglers are just doing nice and easy, taking their jungle, you know, no real crazy stuff happening right now. Hoon and Zero trying to trade. It's a bit hard, but Zero, whew.
Okay.
Nearly getting a kill on Hoon right now.
Ignite used already, so Hoon will grab the Honey Fruit, try and heal back up.
And Ratel is putting Zello in a lot of pressure, as you can see. He's going to use his right post. Oh, no, right post it seems.
Ooh, level 2 hit by RY's bot lane as well, so Immortals, every single lane so far getting pushed into their turret.
But nothing used yet. You know, we see Ignites, but doesn't really matter. All of the flashes are still available, and especially Lepmont on that Lee Sin. He needs to look for those early game ganks, right? He needs to make the plays. He's clearing out his entire red side jungle, which could either mean that he's going to be going for a mid lane, or he's just going to farm his blue side jungle. He's going for mid.
Okay, it's just going to help shove it in. Although, I mean, Hoon's still
Hoon is
pretty
taking
low.
a lot of damage.
Nomal and Doe here.
This could mean that Rolster could potentially take both Scuttle Crabs because Nomel is sitting in the mid lane. It seems like he's not actually interested in it, so it's just going to be a handshake right for now.
I like this from Zello. He sees the Fiora passive facing her. He's like, nah. We're going to walk out of range and try and reset that. But Doe here, Charm roaming as well, spotted out on this ward.
That's a very good ward for Rolster by the way. They'll see anyone coming that's going to the Baron, which is very important information. And Nomel, ooh.
Yeah, that's important for Hoon to run that direction because Nomel could flash Facebreaker, try and pull you back in to go for that kill.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've seen that happen many times before. And we know Nomel can do that, right? With the flash combos on the set, you'll never see it coming. And if it's done properly, you can even flash and push someone into a minion to stun him as well.
Charm.
That's nothing. Ratel can just survive that very easily.
Yeah, and now he's level 5, so becomes even harder for Zello. Might just go for a reset. Yeah, Zello is just backing. Needs to try and get some items under his belt, spend that gold that he's picked up. Sheen early, so probably the Divine Sunderer first. Toon in the 1v1, he's all right.
He's forced to use his ultimate, however, which is a very important ability.
And the exhaust, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hoon is struggling a lot against Zero in this mid lane right now. He is up against that Garen with the Grasp of the Undying. You can't run up to him. Garen is going to be spinning around. He's going to be silencing you. He's going to be dealing a lot of damage. And while I'm talking, it's Nomel and Charm constantly roaming around. They can both do that because Immortals has that Ziggs. Rolster has the Corki. These are both safe champions and they both have great wave clear.
Can RY
Lamont
find something to happen,
going for it.
Lamont, level 5, finds Nomel.
Oh, close one.
Both flash. Nomel gets to safety.
That was close. Nomel flashing right in time, because if he did not flash the second right there, Lamont would have pushed him in the team.
Yeah, I think Lamont, the direction he flashed, he wasn't in range to just insta-tap the Dragon's Rage, so
Nomel had enough time.
Had the time to react.
Oh yeah, definitely. And now looking at those first objectives, it's going to be Rolster Y, who's probably going to be stronger. Even though Immortals has that Lee Sin, which is a very, very powerful early game champion, looking at the rest of their composition, it's not going to be that strong. And especially when you have that Corki package, Hoon has to be a bit careful here though.
Zero has the Ignite, he can look for the Demacian Justice. Oh, Ignite taking down! So close.
Oh, that was close. Hoon could not have died there. If he died, that would have been horrible.
Oh, Dragon's Rage onto Rattel. Flash use. Pops the Grand Challenge. And he's picked up. First blood for Zello.
That is massive right now. First blood on a Jax. And that's the one person you don't want to be giving the first blood to, because what I was talking about is it's a little hard to play the early game with the Jax. But no, if he gets the first blood, he's going to go back and build his Trinity Force already.
Yeah, shoves the wave in. That means Rattel.
The Divine Thunder, actually.
Doe will actually catch the wave, so the XP and the gold isn't wasted. But Divine Thunder completed for Zello, not completed for Rattel.
And that is really, really big for Immortals, because now Zello is actually going to be able to very easily win the 1v1 against Rattel. And as I'm talking, it's
yeah, they lane swap.
Yeah, they're swapping lanes. It seems like this time Zello is going to the bot side of the map, so they want to put him next to the dragon. And it's actually Hoon going to the top side of the map.
Yeah, interesting choice here. And it gives the Rattel time to reset, grab the Divine Thunder. So there's actually no window there. Items complete on everybody.
Everybody.
Proto Belt on both of the supports, and it could be a swap of objectives.
It seems like Rolster is taking the Rift Herald, but Immortals is not allowing it. But it's a bold move to fight against a Corki package. Like, can you really do that? It seems like they can. There is no Corki.
Yeah, Rolster can go for the re-engage.
Where's Corki?
They have Nomel, they have Corki, and there we go. As I say, the showstopper from Nomel is big. Explosive cast, though. They get the Herald. Immortal securing the objective. But RY should pick up a couple kills. It's one on the Hoon.
That should not have been an Immortals objectives. That should have been Rolster. Why Corki was in no sight. He was not there. He had the package. Why were you not there for your team? Why do you give the Rift Herald to Immortals for free? This is not how you approach this game as Rolster, because right now they haven't taken the dragon either. So they lost the Corki package. They didn't get the Rift Herald. They didn't get anything.
As I'm trying to catch up with Hells' disappointment right here in the setup for RY. Let's take a look at the replay.
Oh yeah, here you can see it. Immortals doing an absolutely amazing job yet again, using the Lee Sin to secure those objectives. This is one of those types of champions that can very easily secure the objectives. Immortals securing the Rift Herald, and Immortals trying to secure the kill here as well.
Rattel heavily trading on Zello right there.
Did get the ultimate off on Zello though.
Yeah, that was big. I mean, if Zello had landed that counter-strike, sure, that's cool, but pretty easy for the Fjord to outplay that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And right now, Rolster, why? It's not the position that you want to be at. And Lamont, he's just going for constant aggression.
He's got the Herald. I think they're going to go for the turret here. They can shove the wave in.
That means Dragon for Rolster Y though.
Oh, he doesn't? Okay, interesting.
Rolster Y not pushing for the dragon. They're just kind of letting Rattel die right now.
Yeah, okay, Herald goes down. Rattel should survive this. No! The riposte used early, and the Sonic Wave lands twice for Lamont. A kill and a turret to Immortals.
But there is the dragon for Rolster Y. This is exactly what they had to do. If they didn't take this, they would just lose all over the place. But yeah, Rattel, knowingly that he's getting ganked, why do you stay under the turret? He just takes the bait, falls to Lamont, and Lamont playing a really good Lee Sin right now. Already getting Zello super ahead in the game. Zello is ahead by 1.3 thousand gold, Kangas.
Gets the execution.
Are you feeling it?
And the recurve bow.
Are you feeling it?
I'm not going to get excited. I'll only show my bias. if a certain team wins at the end of the series. Otherwise, it still could go either way. It's only a 1.4 thousand gold lead for Immortals right now. RY are not a team that you can sleep on. I've seen them find ways back into games, and Rattel still can scale.
And you were talking about Lepmont, and he's showing us why you're
Yeah.
talking about him. Playing an absolutely amazing Lee Sin right now, securing those objectives for his team, securing those kills. He's ahead by 1,000 gold as well, but he has to be. Because if he's not ahead, then he's just gonna get outskilled, and that's the thing with Lee Sin. It just feels like Lepmont's hands are the perfect hands to have Lee Sin on.
He's so smooth with
He's going
it.
for another gang.
2 items over Doe's singular item. Hasn't backed in a bit.
There he
Now
goes
Lamont going
again.
for another play. Some play pop by 0. And Lamont misses the Sonic Wave.
On
Now
the opposite
Kuhn
side,
could
it's
be in
Rolster
trouble
wide.
here. Rattel looking for the chase down. Actually parries correctly, but now the face for showstopper
Doe's
from
dead.
Nomel. Doe dies to the poison and charm ignite. Immortals, they counter the play. Oh, what happened in the Dragon
Lepmont
Lane?
used his ultimate and ignite and killed off, Zero used his ultimate and ignite and killed off Lepmont, but Zello able to pick up the kill. Yet again, this is just Zello getting super fat. This is good for Immortals.
He could have gotten the turret, but
Luna! Woo! Luna sitting on 7,000 gold, just getting that kill, snatching it away. He's like, no, you're not getting away with this. And this is the one player Immortals has to be scared of. Luna sitting on 2 kills, 0 deaths, 1 out to finish, 7.5 thousand gold, and it's Luna. That's the thing. His name is Luna.
Yeah.
You have to be scared of that. Corki package is up. Next objective is up. Rolster cannot make the same mistake again.
oh, but as we say it, Luna
He's
has
not gonna
so many
die.
spells. Might go down here with the Dragon's Rage.
gonna get
One more
him.
Sonic Wave.
Oh.
Oh, the rocket misses.
Oh, that was a close one. Luna nearly died to Lepmont right there, but that's Lepmont on the bot side, which means there's no jungler on the top side. Rolster can take this Herald.
Lamont might go for another kill. Another go at it here, but actually on the Herald right now to engage from Rolster Y. Zello frontlining, Charm goes back in. Explosive Cast is coming off cooldown shortly. Mega Inferno Bomb does a lot of damage. That's
close.
objective secured for Rolster Y. Lamont now onto Luna, pops him.
Securing that bounty as well. What are you doing, Luna? You cannot give a bounty to Lee Sin. And now Lepmont sitting on 8.2 thousand gold on that Lee Sin.
That's why we see Corki's go Hullbreaker, because you can survive in instances like that, but
Yeah.
this is a full damage Corki against lethality Lee Sin.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna survive that. And right now, this is exactly, yet again, Zello getting a turn. And you see that? Lepmont gives the gold to Zello, and I love to see that, because Zello is just getting funneled every single gold, because Lepmont doesn't scale into the late game. It's Zello that scales into the late game.
The substitute Baron laner coming in for Immortals, and it's a substitute player that is given the resources in elimination match game number 1. Immortals with a unique game plan here. They're investing in this Jax. They're hoping that this
It makes
pays out
sense.
dividends to them later on in the game.
It makes sense. This is the one guy that's going to be your team fighting champions. But yet again, how do you deal with this late game of Rolster? How do you deal with that Hullbreaker Zero? He's going to be split pushing all the time. And Jax is not going to win the 1v1s against it because he has the Hullbreaker.
Yeah, sure.
He may actually, if he's super ahead.
Jax does a lot.
Yeah, Jax is very strong in the late game, but you need him in team fights. And
Yeah.
it's going to be up to Rolster to apply enough pressure on those side lanes with the Hullbreaker and also with the Fiora, who's just a good side laning champion anyways.
I'm looking right now to see if Immortals go for a big engage. They don't actually commit to it. Not a lot.
They're
to
all
fight
around the mid
over.
lane though. They're looking for something.
Yeah, we're fishing for a potential pick. Dragon is up in about 30 seconds.
And that's where the Corki package is going to come very handy for Rolster Y, because he's going to be picking it up very, very soon. And I hope, and hopefully this time, he's going to use it very, very well, instead of just waiting. Because I don't see a way for Immortals to win a team fight against Luna with a Corki package.
2-1, even though died to Lamont in the solo lane,
Zello.
still can carry these fights. Zello and Rattel.
Rattel should be able to win this. He has that Hullbreaker. And yet again, Corki package timer is ticking. Rolster Y has to look for something right now, because if they don't, they're going to fight without a Corki package again, which is in the favor of Immortals.
Let's see how they set it up.
It's Immortals starting off the
on
Dragon, actually.
Rolster Y will spot it because there was a ward. Immortals cleared that out.
Ooh, the timer is ticking.
Rattel's joining the fight. So Rolster Y have all 5 members here, but as I said, Rattel's actually dancing around.
Immortals has the setup. They're all waiting in the bushes. They are ready to fight. And as you can see, Rolster Y is walking into unknown ground.
And Zello keeping the wave push means that Rattel answers. We're just
Luna.
dancing around this mid lane right now. Who will commit to the play? Package as long as you can.
And they're doing it, and I believe the package just
Oh.
ran out. Seems like they're going for Zello, however.
Okay, can the Jax get to safety? Nobel running forward with the Proto Belt. Showstopper back, flash from Zello. Rattel with the chase down, but he leap strikes onto the Honey
It's a
Fruit.
free dragon. Free
So
dragon for
Immortals,
Immortals.
the Baron laner survives. Rolster Y don't find anything for their commitment, and like you said, Hells, Immortals get the dragon.
That is horrible for Rolster. That's an infernal dragon. And they're trying to get something back. They're trying to get the aggressiveness in the mid lane with the Herald and in the Baron lane, but it's not working.
No, Mel. Oh, wait, it's actually the
It
damage
is
from
working.
Luna and Rattel underneath the turret. Finding kills. Immortals now looking to answer right back onto Doe. They stopped the Herald push in the mid lane. They actually killed it before it charged the turret, and Immortals might just get a turret for themselves
Oh
here.
yeah, they're getting a free turret as well. Immortals with a really, really good respawn, trying to look for Zero as well. Whew. Immortals is losing turrets, but they're getting stuff back. They got the dragon, and they also got that mid lane turret.
3 turrets to 1 in favor of Immortals with close to a 3,000 gold lead right now. A lot of that gold on this Jax. I know Zello died there in the Baron lane, but still, the fact that Immortals got enough done elsewhere on the map bodes pretty well for them. Rolster Y, this is the team that we had favored coming into this matchup, and so far, they're playing on the back foot.
The #1 team from the WCK, very, very hyped team. They made it to the Horizon Cup, and now it's Immortals, who is a newcomer to Worlds. They're giving them a hard challenge right now.
Reminder that the WCK, before they were even called the WCK, they made it into Horizon Cup knockout stage. The first international tournament that we had, and the conversation was, okay, Chinese teams, SCA teams, Korean teams. Those are the top 3 regions. And right now, the #1 seed from NA is answering the challenge here. But it's not over yet. Rolster Y, they're looking for something here on the bottom side. Charm as well. Can Nomel find the engage?
Rolster Y is ready though. 4 people are ready with the gank. You know, you can't just gank like that when Rolster Y is ready. If they had fully committed, they would have all died to Rolster Y. And here this feels like a battle of the tanks. No one is probably gonna die.
Well, I mean, Black Cleaver, Zero with the Hullbreaker as well. Actually taking a lot of poison damage though, as I said that.
Oh,
the pick! Immortals find Nomel on rotation.
And the Baron lane is up as well, which could be a potential objective Immortals is looking for. Zello in the side lane up against Rattel. Zello cannot fight Rattel, and he knows it. He goes back under his turret, stays safe. Rattel could apply a lot of pressure. I actually even feel like Rattel could just push that turret, even though Zello is under it.
He has the
Hullbreaker.
Hullbreaker empowered cannon minions. Yeah, this takes the turret super fast. That's at least a plate to Rattel.
Charm is ready. I mean, look at that minion. Look at how much damage the minions do. Like, at this point, even the minion can just take the whole turret. And taking a look at how much gold everyone has. Luna is not ahead, which is a big problem for Rolster Y, because this has been such a massive win condition for them every single game. And on the opposite side, it's Lebmont sitting on 13,500 gold. And Gume just picked up his 3rd item on Ziggs as well.
I'm happy you bring up Gume, because we haven't mentioned a lot of the Ziggs, but silently scaling with the tier build. Seraph's completed. The Rabadon's Death Cap completed. This is a massive damage power spike for the Ziggs.
Those are the powerful items you need on the Ziggs. Those are the late game items. All he needs now is the Void Staff to finish off his damage. But he doesn't really need it yet, as there is no real magic resist on the side of Rolster Y right now. So taking a look at how teamfights would go, man, Immortals has such strong teamfights. Lebmont also having that Guardian Angel, he can just go in, do everything, use his ultimate, tank up everything, and then he still has that Guardian Angel.
And Immortals right now using their champion advantage on the top half of the map.
Doe is on the bot side.
The blue buff. Doe on the Kazakhs means that Zello could be in trouble, but Zello actually completes his Hullbreaker 3rd item, even getting Executioner. So it was a very delayed Hullbreaker, but now he can match Rattel.
Yeah, he needed that. He needed that, because otherwise he would never be able to fight Rattel. But Doe being on the bot side of the map is always a scary thought, because Immortals could go for the Baron, right? If they know that Doe is there, they can just rush down the Baron with the Lee Sin and just get it. So Zello getting that Hullbreaker is a very, very important thing. Even though he's going to be looking for those team fights, he needs the Hullbreaker to cancel out Rattel. And also Zero, because there's 2 Hullbreakers on Rolster Y. You can't just have them have 2 Hullbreakers.
And Rattel's also invested into Teleport. very early teleport on the
Oh,
Fiora.
yeah.
So that means that if your team takes a fight elsewhere on the map, you're kind of baiting Zello into the side lane, and then you can join the team fight.
Oh yeah, definitely. Rattel being able to teleport into those team fights, force Immortals in a 4 versus 5 situation. We've seen this happen many times, where a team just straight up loses because there is a 4 versus 5 situation. You want to pick up, there you go. I was just gonna say it. You want to pick up a teleport yourself as well, and Zello does it. He reads my mind, he does it, so now it's equal grounds again. Immortals and Rolster Y. Both teams are ready, both teams have split pushing, and both teams have a...
The late game, Hells. 17 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock, and that is Elder Dragon in 15 seconds time. Baron's also on the Rift.
All of
These
Rolster
kinds of
Y is
game
on the top
states.
side now. All of Rolster Y is on the top side, and the Dragon is spawning in 8 seconds. I mean, the timer is ticking.
The vision investment from Immortals will spot Rolster on approach to the Dragon Pit. Rolster's vision investment in the top side only protects Rattel from ganks.
And that's the Corki package again. This is it for Rolster Y. You have to take a fight now. You're not gonna win a normal fight against this composition against Immortals. Now that you have the Corki package, they have to take those fights. But Immortals knows this as well. Immortals is just wasting time. They don't want to take a fight. They're just gonna let the Corki package run out.
You don't need to force anything if you're Immortals. You have your vision line drawn. You can spot out where Rolster Y are.
Oh,
and they
Immortals
see
is
no
going
more.
for it though. Immortals is going for
On
it.
the bottom half here, can they find a pick?
Oof.
Doe jumps over the wall, no summoner spells used, but now Immortals are very 4-4, the teleports are coming
There we
through. This could be a
go.
rough position. The package used from Luna doing some damage here. Now Zello with a massive counter strike onto 3. Hoon's getting all the poison down as well, but Rolster Y are fighting through all of the poison damage. They have the grand challenge healing them up, but Lamont back in onto Doe. Gets a kill. Zero in trouble, flashes to safety. It's a 2-for-2 trade. What an explosive fight.
Oh, what an explosive fight. The package could not have been better than that. And still, Rolster Y was unable to get ahead of Immortals right there with a perfect Corki package. All Immortals has to do is just get a little bit of a better fight, and now there is no more Corki package. 2-for-2, but man, that felt like it was Immortals' fight, but it wasn't. It was close.
It was so close. The fact that Rattel got the grand challenge off and
That
healed everybody
healing
up,
was
that was
insane.
massive. And now it's back off cooldown again.
Lamont.
Nobel, meanwhile, sees Lamont here. Guardian Angel up. Ooh, Lamont actually gets out.
That's a massive thing for Lamont. He wants to keep up that Guardian Angel. It's so important for him to have that because it allows him to be super duper aggressive because he can't die. He has the Guardian Angel. He can just dive super deep, sitting on 4.5 items on that Lee Sin, and he could just go ham on Luna if he wants to.
But we're back to the same dance. But two crucial differences. Luna doesn't have package, and there's no teleports. Look at Rattel going to the Baron lane.
no.
Zello's on the bottom side, so Immortals
Can
they're on
rush
the
this.
or the Elder Dragon.
They can rush this. Rattel, what are you doing? You're the Baron laner. Your team needs you. You can't just give this away to Immortals. They're
It's
trying to
versus
take
down.
it.
Half health.
6,000 HP.
Doe's looking for the pick. Gume flashes the wall, and Immortals go for the fight instead of securing the objective. They see Doe, they see the bug all alone. Jungler down for Rolster Y. Now it's going to be down to Luna. Can the Corki get the damage out? It goes the cast away, and the Justice from Zero takes out Hoon. 1-for-1 trade so far. Lamont dancing in and out. They're
Immortals
back on
going
the
for it.
Dragon.
They're
There's
going for the
no
Dragon.
smite for Rolster Y. Luna and Zero have got to put in work right now, and Immortals are right back up the Dragon again, but they're split. Charm focus down here. Luna's going to get another kill. Nobel with the engage. Rolster Y go nuts in the 4v4.
Oh,
They get
no.
Guardian Angel. They wipe Immortals for the Prime Gaming Ace.
Rolster Y! What is that? You just completely wiped out Immortals! Immortals was trying to take the Outer Dragon, but they all just died! And Rolster Y is not even looking at the Outer Dragon. I'm losing
Who's
my
up in
voice
10
there.
seconds, but everybody else is dead. This might be game one. We're
6
in the late
seconds.
game. Rolster have a minion. They're teleporting in.
They're ending the game!
They're
It's
gonna end
over!
game one off of that. Rolster Y, you cannot give them an inch. They take game one from the crutches, the crutches of Immortals. Oh, what a way to end game one.
Rolster Y took it like it's nothing yet again. One mistake, you can win the entire game, but one mistake at this crucial moment, and it's over. Immortals is down 0-1. They need to win 2 games to win the whole series, and the mental boom right now. When you lose like that, it hurts, Kangas. It hurts.
Flashbacks to the Liberty series. What happened in that one, Hells? Immortals were in control. They were ahead. And an Elder Dragon fight
lost
that
it.
Liberty wins means game 1 goes their way. Rolster Y, they kept their heads in the game, and who did we say needed to carry? Luna on the Corki was outputting so much damage in that team fight, and the Nomel's engage on top of it. Beautiful.
He delivered. But Lepmont as well. I mean, he played that game so well, but then right at the ending right there, they tried to get the Elder Dragon, but then they tried to fight, and then they tried to get the Elder Dragon, but then you can't do two things at the same time. They died, and Rolster Y just finished that game right there. I just can't believe it. How did Rolster Y just win, push the mid, and just end the game? They did it.
Over in a flash. I mean, what can you say? When you're at these 20-minute games, if you get those kills, if you win that team fight, game's done. Those are 50-second death timers. And even though Hoon went down earlier and he was up, he can't clear a wave as the Singe. He's just a Singe. Rolster Y identified, okay, we don't need to take the Elder and Bear. And some teams might have done that. They would have said, we won the fight, let's get the objectives and then reset.
They had a mission and they
said, nope,
finished it.
Everybody go mid. We know that we can end.
Every single one was in on that. You saw that, right? They were not hesitating, just walking straight to the mid lane and just ending the game. They knew what was up. Teleport was in, and Rolster Y, such an amazing finish.
Game 1 to Rolster Y. D-Gon and the Analyst says, let's bring him back in to talk about that one. It happened again in the group stage. Immortals dropping game 1 at Elder.
Kangas, you are a much better professional than I am. I don't know. Kangas has had all the calls with NA just get destroyed in heartbreaking fashion, and Kangas makes the call with a smile on his face every single time. As Rolster Y, I appreciate you, Kangas. Thank you. Rolster Y take game number 1 over Immortals as goodness gracious, Immortals in control of that one for such a long time. We're not quite able to close that one out here.
It was a really good showing from Immortals, honestly. I thought they had that game in the bag. Some of the calls around Elder Dragon were questionable in hindsight. D-Gon, you can see the roller coaster of emotions here. The Immortals are winning, and then, wait for it, it's coming.
The fist pumps. Look,
He's cheering. He believes in it right now. Where's the crash?
He's on the Choo-Choo hype train. He's still on the hype train. He's like, yes, we're going to win.
Some of the audio is getting played there as...
But that just shows...
And to be honest, like you said, you know, the early game was actually really, really good for
Most
Immortals.
of the game was really good.
Yeah, most of it. I mean, they were winning until they didn't. It felt like that was it. They had the goal lead throughout this entire game. I think Lamont on this Lee Sin was absolutely huge. The plays that he was making throughout this early game and throughout the mid game as well was absolutely massive, and it really helped Immortals as well. But it just all came down to that last play.
Yeah. But before that, again, a lot of focus on the top side of the map on Zello. Again, the member that came in as a substitution, still starting the former man from Cloud9. On the Jax, which was the flex pick that allowed the Lee Sin to get selected by Lepmont. A lot of focus up there, and I think Zello did a solid job keeping Rattel at bay. And some of these fights, they were very scrappy.
I think with that Jax Baron lane, I mean, we haven't really seen it before. We've always seen Jax in the jungle. Now, Jax in the Baron lane, you have a very, very weak early game. You can't really do that much. Fiora can just out-trade you every single time. So Lamont's like, okay, we're going to try and get the Jax ahead. We're going to try and get Zello ahead. And that's exactly what he did. He went up there multiple times as well, tried to shut down Rattel. And Zello did a really, really good job this game, I feel like, as well.
Lemon did a really good job at setting up Zello for sure. And this matchup, the Jax into Fiora, eventually gets to a point where Jax just locks into Fiora, takes his hands off the keyboard, and he just bonks her. But at the end of the day, I feel like he could have done more to pressure the side lanes here. This Elder Dragon flip, it was just dangerous from Immortals, right?
You felt very strongly about this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Immortals should have just went for it right at the start because they saw Rattel in the top lane. I don't know if they had vision at all on the Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix was like in the top side of the map as well. I feel like if Immortals just completely just committed towards the Elder Dragon, they would have got it. But instead, they all committed, they all kind of tunnel visioned on trying to kill RY, and that's exactly how it went bad for them. They went all for the Kha'Zix, they didn't take the Elder Dragon, then after that was kind of where it went downhill.
Even when they lost, they had 4,000, 3,000 gold lead. It's just a rough situation for Immortals. Honestly, they were in control of it. I don't know if this makes you feel better or worse, but they were in control of that game, genuinely.
It's worse right now because I thought we had the win. Like, we were that far ahead. We got the pick on the dough. I thought things were good. So this one hurts, but I think as the coaching staff and the support staff there of Immortals will say, hey, look, we had the lead. We had them where they wanted. They were playing our game. Look at the very small, tiny little bar that Doe did in terms of damage. Again, we've seen this Kha'Zix pick jump up in priority, also a takeaway from Lemont, but he really didn't do too much in the game.
He was just out-tempoed by Letmon this game, frankly. Jungle gap.
Yeah, it was a big jungle gap this game. I feel like Doe didn't, he couldn't really do that too much. I mean, the only thing he really did in the end was kind of bait Immortals to all go towards him and try and kill him, and then that kind of what lost them the game. Like I said, I feel like right at the end, Immortals, it's them little decision-making moments. It's like sometimes that's what it comes down to. It comes down to them split decision-making moments. And unfortunately, they made the wrong one, which was trying to chase down Doe. I think, like I said, if they go for the Elder Dragon, they just commit to it. All 5 members attack the Elder Dragon. They could have taken it, and that could have won the game.
Yeah, all right. So that is one moment that they can go back to. I think the things that they can rest their hat on is how well Zello was playing. Zello did a great job on the top side of the map. I think Charm did a very good job consistently body blocking and trying to find ways to get good engages. Gume dished out a ton of damage safely for most of the fight, except that last one there where he tried to use the Satchel Charge to get away. It looked like he ended up fat-fingering Zhonya's and ended up dying right afterwards. But the player that I wanted to step up the most in Hoon on the Singed, partially because
he did a pretty decent job,
but it didn't have any, like, we saw him yesterday on Singed with the Proto Belt into the Mega Glue, into a kill, like basically the assist to the Slam Dunk. Really didn't see too much of that. We saw kind of like stat ball Singed that was just kind of in front and spraying the poison around, right? We didn't really see that change.
Yeah, I mean, we would definitely want to see more out of Hoon here. I feel like he has more in the tank as well, but you need to see more of a team fighting draft structured around that Singe pick then if you really want to see him get going. On the other hand, Rolster Y, yet again, I feel like that was the Luna show all the way.
Again, Doe outpaced, wasn't quite there.
Yeah, even though I didn't like his build.
Yes, please. I'll give you permission to dig in and dive into that build. What did we start with first?
Sunderer first item on Corki. And then the worst thing was, he went for crit afterwards as well. So it was just like, okay, I want the Divine Sunderer. I mean, we've seen like Black Cleaver Divine Sunderer, which is not, in my opinion, not really the best. But then you like split the 2 in half. But I mean, to be fair, he was the one that carried that last team fight. He got that triple kill in the end as well. So it just shows how strong Corki is as a champion. And sometimes it doesn't really matter what you build on him.
How strong Luna is as a player as well. Sure. Him on your screen right now, he looks like such a sweet little lad, but in-game, he is such a monster, man. His aggression in that game on the Corki, I think he could have been a little bit more aggressive, but I think he was very on point with his decision-making, when to go in, when to play on the outskirts of the fight, and overall, just another tremendous performance from Rolster Y's Dragon Laner.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, it didn't feel like there was a very easy answer to get onto the Corki.
No, not at all.
This composition by Immortals, which is probably why they started fumbling around the Elder Dragon, because it would have been just Lemont with a kick on in, and he used it earlier to get the Kha'Zix. So it was really, a lot of the lead was based off of skirmishing, not full team fight. And when it was time to go there for the Elder Dragon, it was full team fight time.
And then another one was Nomel as well. I think Nomel in that last team fight as well, getting that huge, massive ultimate. He got that pick in the bot lane as well, which meant Lemont had to flash away as well. And again, he was kind of the play that I was looking out for as well. Can he step up? Can he make them plays on them aggressive supports? And I feel like he definitely did that on the set this game.
Yeah, watching these two teams, a lot of fun. I will take solace in the fact that it has been entertaining, it has been close, and it was Immortals selecting the proactive draft and executing on it up until the sword.
It didn't.
Up until the death, right?
Yeah.
So, all right.
I hear a lot of copium right now.
That was a lot of copium. If there's anyone that knows anything about copium, it's Sir Stewart here, all right? Here we go. Game number 2, North America's hopes, the West hopes on the line. Immortals season on the line here. They need to pull back 2, and it all starts with 1 at a time. Game number 2 starts now against Rolster Y, who are trying to book their ticket to the knockout stage. Join the 3 WCS squads into it.
Genuinely right now, I think if you're Rolster Y, you might want to consider banning away the Lee Sin. Latmon had a fantastic performance on that one, and I feel like that's something you should try to get rid of. He really put a clinic on.
I mean, the only thing now is that because Rolster are now on the red side, you feel like they have to ban out the power picks.
Yeah, that's true.
The Karma, the Yuumi. I was thinking Senna was going to be the third.
Yeah, IMT did them a favor.
Yeah, IMT actually banned out the Senna themselves. I don't think they need to do that. Maybe they don't feel comfortable playing that Senna. That's the only thing that I can think of. But then it's going to be Corki instead of that.
So this might be a Lee Jace instead. Then that sets you up for Lee 2-3. That's likely going to be a Kha'Zix pickup then, I think, on Rolster Y.
All right, I mean, again, Lemon is showing a little bit more, and there's Illusion. Kazakhs immediately there by Rolster Y.
Very aggressive opener here from Rolster Y. I hope to see that Lucian go over to Luna. It's one of his best champions. It's basically been permabanned against him as well. This sets him up for success. He can play with aggressive support from Nomel. He can play with an Enchanter from Nomel. The options here are wide open. And after his performance last game, I think he would be right to put all the eggs in the Luna basket. Degon, not feeling hopeful right now.
I don't know what happened, but just a wave of nerves and nervous cackling just came over me sitting in this chair as we go back to the Jax. So again, we saw Zello being willing to play it. We know that Lamont can play it in the WNS, but if Zello plays it, then what do we flex in Jace? Jace could play mid. Yeah. We've seen Jace jungle pulled out by Immortals. It didn't look great, and then we've seen it played at Dragon Lane as well.
I'm not sure why you would want to deviate away from the Lee Sin. I feel like that was a game winner for you last game.
Unless they just want a little bit more later game scaling. Maybe Lee Sin doesn't give them the later game scaling, but a Varus for Gume is a very, very solid pick. I think, like you mentioned, Degon, I think Jace, Lamont on the Jace jungle, when he did play it, it didn't really feel that good. It felt a lot of out of place, to be fair. I feel like if this Jace is to go anywhere, I think in the hands of like Hoon or Zello would be a lot more comfortable position, especially Hoon in that mid lane. Gives him more of a carry champion to play rather than that Singed, because they did ban out the Singed, obviously themselves, but that means that Jax is probably going to go over to the hands of Lamont.
The Wukong right now is a threat towards the Jace. He's saying, if you put Jace top, we will match you with the Wukong. There's still an option for my IMT to try to counter the Wukong here, but I don't really think there's too many options available. They likely will have to opt into this matchup, which means I want to see from my IMT right now a mid laner that one can get prio and two can roam up to the Baron lane. When Jace pushes the waves, they need to threaten the Wukong off the stacked waves. They need to maintain Jace's lead here. This is a very... The early game is basically reliant on two champions right now, the Jace and the Varus. These are your linchpins. You cannot let them fall behind.
Nami being banned away by Immortals. On the opposite side, it's Thresh and Alistair. So the support champ pool getting a little smaller and smaller for both Nomel and for Charm, who have had standout performances in this Icons tournament so far. And Charm still trying to conjure up one more here.
One champion that's still left open is that set, though, which Nomel played in the last game. I really want Immortals to ban it out here, but maybe they just want to go towards these enchanters, and they are going to keep going towards these enchanters. I feel like they kind of know that this Lucian is going to go into Luna's hands, and they don't want anyone to enhance Lucian anymore.
It's a Luna classic pick, but I feel like Rolster Y, if I was Rolster Y, I would be breathing a sigh of relief right now after Nomel's last Enchanter performance. I think stick to the engage, that's where he looks the best.
Exactly, and you can play aggressive in lane as well with that Lucian. I think that's a great thing about it. You know, if you go on a set, you can play for that level 1 engage. Instead, they go for the Zig.
I think Zero plays that.
I think Zero plays it. Also, Luna has played some AP champions as well. I mean, you know him as an AD carry player, but he has played the AP mages before. So there is that little bit of flex pick there.
I was thinking maybe Lucian could go top, but you already have the Wukong, and Wukong kind of has nowhere else to go right now, so that can't be an option.
Yeah,
maybe Zero. Yeah, maybe Zero just plays the Lucian mid. But I feel like if you ever play on Luna, like Luna on your team, not giving him the Lucian would be such a shame.
I think it's also showing the importance here for Nomel, and it's going to be
That's what we said, right? Something that can push mid, something that can pressure the lane off the Jace, something that works well in tandem with the Jax. It's a really good pick. I like it a lot.
And then the Grog is back for
It's a good draft. Yeah, it's a good draft.
So Charm going back to it again can displace the 1 or 2 members necessary to get these picks. It feels like a pretty classic pick composition here for Immortals to get the snowball train going and get to a point like they did last time, and it's Rakan locked in here for Nomel.
So 2 clear identities from both of these teams right now. IMT early game, they want to play towards the Jace. Have the option to play towards the Varus too, but we'll see how that lane plays out. Main thing is you want to pick, you want to poke. Rolster Y, one go here. Just go, 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 all in.
Yep, all in engage for the side of Rolster. They need to go in, especially with this Rakan as well. You're going to have Ziggs and Lucian in the back line, Kazakhs and Wukong diving in. But like you said, Immortals, all eyes are going to be on the Hoon this game. Can he make full use of his ultimate? Can he roam around and get his side lanes ahead?
Here we go. All right, it is Jace in the jungle with the tournament lives on the line for Immortals, and it's Luna on Ziggs. Here we go. Time to send things back to Kangas and Hell's Devil for game number 2. Is this it for Immortals, Kangas?
Listen, Degon, I gotta say, we're down, but we're not out yet. It is still possible. But Rolster Y up 1-0 in the series. Wait, get this up. Not yet.
I think we're out
Not
already.
yet.
I think we're out already.
No, not yet. We can still come back and win the next two, okay? We'll see what happens. But Rolster Y are looking really strong. It is insane that they were able to come back in game number 1 in such incredible fashion. That team fight at the Elder Dragon was a thing of beauty.
Oh, and if Immortals loses this, that's going to be in their nightmares for sure. They were winning that first game, Kangas, and they should be ready to win this game as well, because it showed that Immortals can beat Rolster Y. This was a reality check, right? Like, is Rolster Y really a whole different beast? The answer is no. Immortals is equal.
It was within striking distance. It was an even game state for most of it. Immortals had a lot of control, but Rolster Y, they understand Wild Rift. It doesn't matter if you're down a couple of thousand gold at the Elder fight. What matters is the Elder fight. If you win that in this meta, you can win the game.
So that's Zello on the Jax side lane again, and it seemed to do pretty well in the last game. But the question is this gonna work for them this game as well? They're up against a Whole Break Illusion. It's gonna be very likely a Whole Break Illusion. Who is gonna get a Whole Break from Immortals? Is it gonna be a third item Whole Breaker on Zello again? But it's probably not really in time, because you can't build a Whole Breaker on Twisted Fate. You can in jungle, but of course you don't want to do that. So yet again, Rolster Y can apply so much pressure with their composition against Immortals.
And also, it's the Kraken Slayer Lucian instead of the Conqueror. I like Kraken Slayer on Lucian much more.
It's good against Jax, because, you know, Jax has so much armor when he uses his ultimate that Kraken Slayer is going to be dealing that true damage. But Kraken Slayer is perhaps a bit of an undertuned rune right now. So is it really worth over a Conqueror? I wouldn't say so. I would still say that a Conqueror would be better. But what Zero is preparing for is having that Kraken Slayer during those 1v1s, right? When he's going to be up against Zello, Zello uses ultimate, but it doesn't matter, because Kraken Slayer does true damage. That's what justifies the rune. So, yeah, that's it for Zero then.
Helping him get the trades against Shun in the early game right now, as Lamont will show on the mid wave to try and help force out this wave, not give too much control over to RY.
So Lamont is playing the Jace, which is yet again a very strong early game jungler. Although Jace cannot do as much in those later game teamfights, he doesn't have that Lee Sin ultimate, the all-important Lee Sin ultimate that Lamont has. But Lamont showed us last game that he's good on those early game junglers.
It could come down to another Zello carry. We saw them invest heavily into Zello in game number 1, as now they're looking at the bottom lane. Potential dive, Doe shows, so Rolster Y, they push Immortals off.
And they're safe against this 4-man gank. 4-man ganks are dangerous ganks. That could be super big danger for Rolster Y, but Rolster Y stays calm and collective and deals with it. And Rattel against Zello right here.
Ooh, oh, the stun lands. Zello heavily winning this trade, and he's fancying more. Has the grasp. I think he got 2 procs.
Oh yeah, definitely. He has that grasp of the Undying, which is mainly focused in the Baron lane. Of course, this is what allowed him to win those trades, right? Wukong sitting on a Conqueror, better in teamfights. But Zello on that Jax sitting on the grasp of the Undying. Sure, he's not going to be stacking up as much during teamfights, but during those 1v1s, he's going to win against the Wukong with that grasp.
The laning phase much better, gives you extra sustain in that laning, makes it a little tankier. But now we see Doe, level 5, Gume's all alone right now, realizes I'm being hunted, could be in trouble, immediate exhaust. Really good fingers from Gume.
Oh yeah, and Gume doesn't even have to use his flash. Gume doesn't even have to use his ultimate, and that's Doe's ultimate already used. So Gume not only just escaped without using anything from himself, that's Doe wasting his ultimate, which is such an important ability to have in this early game to win those early game fights against Lamont on that Jace.
That first Kha'Zix ultimate can be a big tempo swinger if you get that kill. Luna's also low on mana, so looking for a reset here. There's a window that Immortals could maybe look for a plate.
And I want to talk about Nomel. He's sitting on 1.3 thousand gold. He just barely got level 4. If you look at the left side, his experience he's a whole level behind of Charm.
Wow.
He's not doing well right now. He's super behind.
I don't know if they necessarily need him to be super ahead right now, but it is potentially concerning. 1,000 gold differential in favor of Immortals right now, and if Charm can land some big engage here, could be big.
And that's all of the people on both sides sitting at around 3,000 gold, which means they're all getting close to picking up their first item, which is going to be very, very important during the first objective. So, who's going to be stronger during the first objective? If you look at Immortals, they have some late game champions, some early game champions. If you look at Rolster Y, yet again, the whole break illusion, it's going to be a very, very close one, because both of them don't necessarily have a very strong early game composition.
It's interesting to look at that, because it's the Rod of Ages and the Manamune for Gume and Hoon, but then Hullbreaker for Zero, so he's not going to be as effective in the team fights. Might just be trade of objectives.
I think it's going to be a trade as well, unless someone has some other ideas. We know Lepmont may have some other ideas on that jungle. He's a very aggressive jungler. This guy doesn't just give away things for free. He even went for that Yumos Ghost Blade, which is a heavy early game item.
Yeah.
This is a lethality item. Shreds through champions who have no armor. And looking at the side of Rolster, no one picked up armor yet. So Lepmont, during those team fights with that Yumos Ghost Blade, is going to be a massive threat to deal with for Rolster.
Objectives in 15 seconds. Looks like Immortals, they have vision on both right now. Rolster Y, they only have one ward in the top river. So they'll see if Zello walks towards the Herald. Now they get one in the Herald pit.
And it's Immortals pushing out the wave first. They're going to have the advantage. They're going to be able to set up their vision around the Rift Herald, and they're actually even just starting it. And that's, as we said it, the teams shake hands. Lepmont takes their Rift Herald, and then on the opposite side, it's Rolster taking the Dragon. But it seems like Immortals is also interested in the Dragon.
Immortals love doing these, where they go for an objective, and they also try and push Rolster Y off of another one. Maybe Charm was thinking if I show, they'll assume that we're contesting.
Yeah.
But there was vision on the Herald, so it's just a trade.
Rolster doesn't fall for traps like that. They know, indeed, they had vision on the Rift Herald. They were staying calm and collective. They got the Dragon. They knew they could get the Dragon because they had the Smite on Doe, and that's a trade. So that's a mounted Dragon on Rolster Y, which is not a good Dragon to deal with as a Varus. Gume is going to have a bit of a harder time poking with the Varus because every single time you're... every single time you're dealing with that mountain Dragon.
No, Mel, I mean, you were saying he's behind in levels, he's behind in gold. Well, that's what Rakan does.
He's still doing what Rakan does, indeed. He's engaging, he's doing what he has to do, but still sitting on level 6, he's going to be a very squishy Rakan. He's only sitting on like a single tier 1 item right now, so he has to be a little careful. And I feel like he shouldn't roam around as much anymore. He needs to catch up on gold and experience, Kangas.
Went for the Merc Treads early. I like that against a gold card, against the Chain of Corruption from Gume's Varus. Makes a decent amount of sense.
But he doesn't have anything. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Nomel is just go back, get yourself an enchantment, or go back, get yourself some items. Because right now, you're going to have such a hard time during those team fights, especially against Charm, who picked up that Gargoyle Stone Plate enchant. He's going to be the tank that his team needs. And you can see, wow, he's going in.
Explosive cast, Doe hit by the Empowered Shock Blast.
That's everything used by Doe right there. That's his ultimate. That's Flash. Very, very well played by Charm right there.
Good opportunity to look for a pick. Charm tries to get the kill. Doe very low in the health bars, but gets the red buff.
Oh, that's a Rift Herald in the mid lane. Immortals applying the pressure, trying to make it worse to give away the Dragon, but that's what we're talking about. Nomel taking the damage.
The poke is big. Inferno Bomb plus the Colleen used. 2 ultimates to save mid turret.
But no turret. That's no turret for Immortals. That is the classic WNS Rift Herald.
No.
At least they hit the turret.
Yeah, WNS Rift Heralds are when they don't even hit a turret.
That's the WCK Rift Herald.
Yes.
So, good play by Immortals, because yeah, we don't really expect much on but they did get hit. although they didn't get the mid lane turret. I'm sorry, it's a little bit of bias right there, but they're doing an amazing job against Rolster.
You're an EU caster, it's an NA team, I understand.
Yeah, but Immortals applying the pressure, they have to. They're ahead by 2,000 gold right now, which is a subtle lead, but an important lead regardless.
And again, where is that gold located? If we take a look, a lot of it from just the TF passive, up 400 gold over Zero.
And the support.
Position as well, yeah. Zero now in a 1v1 here against Lamont. That's Exhaust down, plus Destiny. Hoon doesn't find the pick, but that's Flash and Exhaust out of Zero.
And Hoon is sitting on 2 items already, you know, using that Twisted Fate passive, as you said, allowing himself to slowly but steadily get ahead of Zero. And Jack is sitting on 2 items, and the later we get into the game, the scarier the Twisted Fate gets. And Lepmont may be in trouble here, but he sees it coming.
Yeah, has a ward over the wall. Nicely placed right there to see, okay, I gotta get out of here. That's an engage and an assassin.
And Immortals is going to be looking for this turret as well. Gume on that Varus trying to push this wave, but Luna is ready. This is such an important turret for Rolster Y to defend. We keep talking about it. This is the mid lane turret. If you lose that turret, you don't have that backup anymore. But Hoon, you gotta be careful.
Charm's walking up. He now sees Nomel.
Oh, Nomel.
Forces out the battle dance.
Yeah, and it's Zello and Rattel just doing 1 versus 1s in the lane. Lepmon trying to look for the kill on Nomel, and Nomel is very squishy.
Shock blast in, Nomel, oh, gets a knockup on the charm, and he's out of there.
Wow.
A lot of turret shots. I think that was 4 in total that Immortals took. Well played by Rakan.
And that's Zello pushing behind the turret, by the way. He wants to push as fast as he can. He does not want to allow Rolster to run away from that turret, but there goes
Flash
Nomel!
engage! The insane range of a Rakan says we are starting this. Nomel finding first blood for the team.
And that's a Rift Herald for Rolster Y. As Immortals, it's going to be really hard to take this out. Whoa, it seems like Immortals coming through with the poking however. The Varus arrow, the empowered first ability of Lepmont on that Jace. They're doing a lot of damage. Can you even do this as Rolster Y?
Even the TF damage as well. Nomel goes in to try and buy space, buy time, and it does buy the Herald. 1 kill picked up for Immortals. Lamont flashes away. Gume with the flash chain of corruption misses the arrow onto Zero, and the empowered shock blast as well.
Zero makes it out. Zero makes it out. You know, he
Yeah.
nearly died. Immortals desperately trying to kill him, but he makes it out, and Rolster Y gets that Rift Herald. It was a very close smiting battle. Lepmon tried to quickly cheese it away, but unfortunately smited just a tad bit too early. So that's those sitting on the Rift Herald, and they're going to be looking for that mid lane turret.
What did the analyst desk say during pick and ban? It's going to come down to picks for Immortals, but RY have a much stronger go-forward comp. When you're willing to flash engage as Nomel, Rattel hasn't even found an engage yet, and now it's Immortals have to approach this flash engage Wukong. Really dangerous position, but instead it's just a Proto Belt engage from Nomel. Lamont gets a really good knockback right there. Nomel almost goes down. Nobody falls yet.
That was a clone, Kangas. If that was not a clone hit by the chain of corruption, that would have been Rolster White just demolished in a team fight. Very, very well played by Rattel to bait out that Varus ultimate, and that was yet again a very close one. We can see Nomel doing his job as a Rakan. We can now understand why Rolster White picked that Rakan as the very last pick in the draft.
Yeah,
they don't want to
gross.
pick an Enchanter in this game. They want that hard engage from the Rakan.
This is gameplay. This is mechanics. This is top-level Wild Rift. Nomel still on the flank right here. Charm spots him
5
out,
versus
but
4.
you can't lock down a Rakan, and RY have everybody on the Dragon. Immortals give it up for top turret.
So it seems like Immortals is actually funneling gold into Hoon, and then they're giving away a dragon for free. Hoon is 2,000 gold at. He's gonna have his rapid fire cannon very soon, which is gonna be a very, very important tool for Immortals to win those team fights. Get that rapid fire cannon on Twisted Fate. Get that stun from a long distance, and then follow up with the Gragas. Very, very important, but looking at the side of Rolster White, that's 4 people having that Mercury threat. So all Hoon has to do is just fully focus Luna on that Ziggs. He's not sitting on any tenacity, and when you get a 2-second stun gold cut on him, he's just gonna be dead.
It could come down to Hoon. The mid laner for Immortals, it wasn't here for their first match. He just arrived in Singapore the day of their first match. And now he's back onto the stage, back with the team.
He's gonna pick up a rapid fire cannon as well.
Going for the rapid fire. This is almost like a split push TF. Not a,
Boom!
let's look for a pick in a side lane and I'll just hold mid. This is a, I am the side laner.
And he got that rapid fire cannon. This is what Immortals gave away the Infernal Dragon for. Now the question is it gonna be worth it? But Immortals is gonna go,
Okay.
no, they're not gonna fight Rattel. He's just a bit too tanky. So,
They had a death brush set up. I thought they would go for it with Destiny.
Hoon, can he do it? He has 3 items, and Immortals playstyle basically has to change completely right now. 180 degrees, it just completely has to change. And while I'm talking, it's Rolster Y putting the Rift Herald in the mid lane. It's looking like the turret is gonna go down.
How creative can Immortals be with this draft? How hard can RY just force these plays? They have so much engage. There we go. Charm used. Charmed up by Nomel. Explosive cast to try and disengage. Nobody's fallen yet. RY, they got the turret, but they
Zello's
lose their
pushing.
bottom turret. Zello here, and Destiny, they see everybody from RY. RY have nobody near Zello.
Hoon in the top lane. This is what Immortals wants to do. They want to apply as much pressure as they can, get that Twisted Fate as ahead as possible. He's pretty much 1,500 gold ahead of anyone on the map. Immortals has taken 2 turrets already, nearly took the mid lane turret as well. Immortals is just applying pressure everywhere.
Really unique way to shut down the Hullbreaker Lucian, who, by the way, still has 0% win rate.
And he's
today.
going for crit as well, so he's changing up his build. He started with the Hullbreaker, and now he's going for that Stormrazor, but you're missing out on a lot of damage because you don't have another crit item. So I'm not sure about this. It just seems like Rolster White decided they just need a little bit more damage.
Zello getting the Hullbreaker 3rd item based on the current items that he has in his inventory. That's kind of the standard for the Jax, the Camille split pushers here. So Immortals will finally have their own hold breaker user, but this story still, it's all Hoon.
Rolster has to be careful though, because when Hoon gets that Rabadon's death cap on a Twisted Fate, you cannot get caught by that anymore.
Ooh, engage attempt.
There it is, you
There's
see
the
that?
stun onto Luna. That's no flash though. He held both summoner spells. Interesting. Luna, nerves of steel.
That's the damage. That's the damage that Hoon does on the Twisted Fate right now. And that's without a Rabadon's death cap. That's 60% of Luna's health just gone. And that's all because of the rapid fire cannon.
And the Ziggs just stops everything, but the flash forward from Hoon gets the key pick. Luna, the leader, the DPS for Rolster Y picked off.
And that's where it is. That's what Immortals has to do. Get those catches on a Twisted Fate. Hoon is sitting on level 13 right now, sitting on nearly 13,000 gold. He's going to be able to go back very, very soon, pick up that Rabadon's death cap, and just pretty much one-shot Luna.
The gold lead for Immortals feels fantastic, but you still need to remember how the last game ended, and now 1v1 here. Gold card stops the Coling. Zero, he can't get the kill.
Whew. That would have been a big kill, but Charm is in trouble right now.
He can probably body slam to safety. Yeah, Doe doesn't want to go that deep.
Yeah, so Hoon should not die anymore, right? He's 2-1-0, he has that big shutdown, and especially you don't want to give that to Zero, right? So Hoon has to play it a bit safe. His ultimate is going to be on a pretty low cooldown since he just reached level 13. He's very soon gonna get his Rabadon death cap. And that when you get that item on Twisted Fate, I'm sure you Twisted Fate players know what's gonna happen when you get that item, right? You just hit one gold card and you just chunk down anyone to like half their HP.
Especially when you factor a Jace Shock Blast on top of that, a Varus Arrow on top of that, Lethality Varus, Lethality Jace, up front
Instant
burst damage. Immortals have the tools to find that pick.
Now Luna is gonna have such a hard time during those team fights. I mean, look at this. If he just gets a little too close, he's just instantly dead. So Luna has to have super, super good positioning. Make sure Hoon cannot get close to you, because if the split second Hoon gets too close to you, you're just dead. As Kangas just said, the Varus arrow, the engage from the Jace, you're just gonna die.
Yeah, that actually might have just been killed if he wasn't able to battle dance away, or grand entrance away rather.
It's the Elder as well. Elder Dragon is up. Very, very important for Immortals.
Wow. Elder on the table right now. Immortals with a lot of control. They have some wards down to control the vision. There's no wards from Rolster Y. They don't even know if Immortals is on this.
Oh no, do not face check this bush against the Twisted Fate.
Gold card onto Rattel. Bursts him down. The Wukong into stasis. Zello's not in the fight yet. There's the grand entrance. Big from Nomel. And there we have it. Lamont's dead. Immortals have lost their jungler.
Oh, and Immortals is trying to look for a gold card on Luna. Oh, and they don't get it. Somehow, someway, Rolster was able to survive
a wave.
Big engage, and they're gonna push the mid lane turret.
They're just gonna take a tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Immortals now answering. Hoon knocked up, doesn't die.
Who
RY
can't
didn't want to
use
commit.
his cards? Rolster is just not allowing him to use his cards. Somehow, someway, they're constantly just going into him. Nomel just doing a phenomenal job on that Rakan every single time. He's right on top of Hoon. He does not let Hoon get away with that gold card.
Nomel's engages this series have been insane. Luna's damage and positioning has been insane. It doesn't matter the gold lead that Immortals get in these games. Rolster Y play these fights at these key objectives so well.
It shouldn't be this easy for Rolster Y though. Like, they shouldn't be able to get the skills. Sure, they also have a competition with the Rakan to get a catch, but it's just not as good as that competition of Immortals. Immortals should be able to get those catches on Hoon. He has that rapid fire cannon. They have the follow-up. All they need is catch a squishy and just get a kill.
And now it's Rolster Y with everyone here except for Zero. They have control over the river.
But can you do that though? Zero does not have the teleport boots. Immortals could rush this Elder.
Zello could maybe look to push a turret here. He doesn't have any wards down though, so if anybody from Rolster Y moves, then he's in trouble.
I love how Immortals has the vision control, and then there's that one little ward sitting there, right? Like, Immortals kind of thinks, hey, we have the full vision control, but there's that one little ward sitting there, which is giving all the information Rolster Y needs.
Yeah, they haven't swept anything. Oh, explosive cast,
ultimate.
So close. If they pick Doe right there, that could have been the game. We're at that state. We're in the late game, just like game 1. Whoever wins this next fight, they can walk with the victory.
This is so hard for Immortals right now. There is the catch!
Key pick onto Nomel. He gets away. Ignite taking down. Immortals found the kill. That was crucial.
There it is. That was a red card even. This is exactly what Immortals can do.
Okay, Zero gets the slow
Oh no.
from the autos. Flash from Zello. Immortals now answering him. Doe has the smite.
That's the Elder
Does
started.
he look for the steal? Do Immortals burst this down? They didn't commit to the Elder in game number 1. Rattel has the Cyclone.
And Luna has his ultimate, which is a massive ability right here.
Zello's low on the health bars as well. Gold card immediately in there. This is looking good for Immortals though. Stasis used by both members. Rattel's down. Doe low in the health bars. Immortals are making it happen, but Doe onto Hoon and Zello. Immortals are losing to Luna. Can they get him? It's only Gume left.
And they take the Elder Dragon as well, as Immortals gets the prime gaming ace. Elder Dragon, this is it for Immortals. It's gonna be a full build Twisted Faith. Genghis, they're doing it.
6,000 gold ahead in a 5v4, and Immortals barely get the dragon and the fight.
And as we head into the Coca-Cola pop-off, we can see how close this fight was. I mean, Immortals! Doe nearly taking that dragon away, but then Immortals instant focus on Doe, taking out the jungler, and Lepmont securing the Elder Dragon for 100 HP.
RY are insane. I know Immortals won that. I know they got the objective and technically won the fight. But the fact it was that close is absurd.
Wow. Rolster, why? What do you do now? Immortals just took an Elder Dragon. How do you win this fight against this 4-item Varus, nearly 5 items? How do you win this game against this powerhouse of Immortals right now?
Picks. They have Assassins. They have CC. If
There
they can
they
lock people
go.
down, they're going right onto Charm. The front line for Immortals, but he's out. Can he stay out? Rattel looked at Hoon, calling from Zero.
Zello is just pushing.
RY didn't get anything for that, but you're right. Zello's not with the team. Destiny used right now by Hoon. They're just seeing, where are RY? This gives Zello information. RY, they have to worry about the poke from Gume and Lamont, and Zello can just keep pushing this bottom wave.
And now it's Immortals who's gonna possibly be allowed to take this Baron as well, because Rolster Y has to back off people. You can't 1v1 a Jax anymore right now. He's gotten to the point where he's so incredibly powerful with that whole
He's gonna
breaker
get
as
that
well.
stance, right?
He's gonna go for the death stance as well. You just can't 1v1 him anymore.
Yeah, so he's going, oh, what, let's see what he goes for.
So that's a teleport boots for, oh yeah, he just undid his build, or he sold, there you go, he goes for the Starix gauge instead. So Zero just got his rapid fire cannon, he got his teleport boots. Zero is gonna be cancelling out Zello, and Zello does not have teleport boots.
It can come down to one more fight. It will come down.
And we know
to
that
one more
Immortals can
fight.
choke during those fights.
I don't say it, Hells. We were all thinking it, but you didn't have to just say it.
We know that Rolster Y knows that as well.
Rolster Y, this is how they won game 1. Elder Dragon's no longer on the table though. Immortals secured it this time, but Baron is still one of those objectives that teams will throw games for.
And Immortals is using that Twisted Fate ultimate constantly, every single time. They have full information on where Rolster Y is.
Oh, Zero getting a lot of damage there onto Zello.
Oh
and
no,
Lamont
Lamont!
fails the flash over the Dragon Pit wall.
He's
Could
dead.
go down right here into the Guardian Angel. Zello though turning right back onto Zero. Zello saving the play for Immortals. Doe into the stasis. Nobel looking for the re-engage, but Doe, Guardian Angel should be popped. It's not. Doe gets out. Hoon gets an inhibitor. Crucial.
Oh my god, Immortals!
Duh.
How
Oh,
much?
go.
Oh, we got him! That was blind! He
All
just
right,
got
it's
his
just
Guardian
G8.
Angel!
It's just G8, but that's actually massive.
And that was a blind arrow as well. Kume! Don't give this man Varus!
His Varus is insane. It is contested between these two because Luna's Varus is also insane. But Gume is one of those bot laners in North America where he just has this carry potential, this clutch factor, 3-0 and 3, silently carrying this game. We've been talking about Zello and Hoon in the side lanes, but Gume on this Varus is also a major win condition.
Oh, where is this game gonna head? We have Zello split pushing.
Unless he
We have
dies.
Hoon split pushing. Gume!
Not looking great. He's got the Guardian Angel, but everybody's focusing on him. As we say it, Gume picked up in a crucial moment for Immortals. That's GA and his life.
Zeno is still pushing though. Is that an inhibitor turret?
Destiny's not available. Hoon used it already, but they should expect RY to be on that. So Zello, he takes these so fast. RY, they're looking for a death push, but they're on vision.
They're on vision. Rolster Y is visible right now. Zero
don't get
did
Baron.
not quite get that turret, by the way. Zero barely making it in time and defending that all-important inhibitor turret.
Gume bailed out by good
it's close.
vision for Immortals. Rattel might look for the engage here. Has the flash available. Doe throwing out the ultimate. Wasted ultimate, actually. RY, they don't find anything. That's so much damage
a lot
on
of
those
damage.
gold cards.
Wow.
Look at the
That
super
is a
top
5
lane.
item Twisted Fate. Yeah, 2 inhibitor turrets are down. Zeno just did a phenomenal job constantly split pushing this game. Now, how do you deal with this pressure?
Oh,
There you go!
they're gonna get Luna. He has flash. He has the exhaust. He flashes away from the body slam. Nomel going for the engage. Luna's still alive. Big explosive cast, but RY turned the play. Lamont and Charm are down. Zello's looking to game. He's going for the end. He's onto the Nexus. He can't go down.
He can't,
Zero
man.
can't kill him.
He can't,
Zello's gonna do it. Couple more autos. No! RY, they stopped the push. That was so close.
Oh no! And now 3 people died from Immortals. That's 5 people from Rolster Y. Baron is likely gonna go their way, and this is a massive problem for Immortals right now. You're sitting on this 50-second death timers. That is a
Can Hoon backdoor?
26-minute Baron. Can he backdoor?
He's got Destiny. Honestly, if Hoon just goes straight from the Nexus, I don't know the health of it. It's like 200.
It's 2, 3, 4, 500. It goes up all the time. So it's gonna be a little hard for him to do, but that's just a free Baron for Rolster Y. This is gonna be their one-way ticket to victory.
Yeah, Matt. Again, RY are never out of the game. It doesn't matter the control that Immortals have or the gold lead that they have or the position they have. RY will always look for that play to get them back into this game. That was so good from Nomel and Doe finding Gume in a compromised position.
RY is sitting on a timer right now. They have to get a fight in. Because at this moment, even though Immortals has an Elder Dragon, this is a 26-minute Baron, which buffs all your stats, your resists, your damage, the minions, every single thing. Immortals has to be careful right now.
We're at full build.
Everyone is at full build.
Every single player,
Except
save
for the
Rattel.
supports.
Executioner's Calling hasn't been upgraded yet, and the supports. But other than that, we are at the latest of late game states. I believe 30 minutes is the record, somewhere around there for the longest game at Icon so far. And in game 2, where Immortals have elimination on the line, North America WNS elimination on the line, we are going into the Giga late game. As you see that gold grab plummeting, RY with this Baron buff, they can turn this game around.
They're not doing anything with it. Rolster Y unable to push anything. They're just barely gonna get a single tier 1 turret. So Immortals doing a great job defending this. Rolster Y, what are you gonna do after this Baron? How are you gonna push your lead? That's 1 turret that Doe takes, but it's not enough.
They're also pushing in the mid lane here. It's crazy that Immortals had both of their outer side lane turrets this entire time, but now with the minion wave crashing mid here, there's not a lot of wave clear from Immortals, so that's an inhib down. Luna, explosive cast it away. Now Zello onto Doe here. Guardian Angel's back up, and Omel's going for the engage here. Zello could be in trouble. Flashes into the knockup. Rolster Y do it again. Finding the engage. Guardian Angel going down. It's going to be up to Hoon and Gume. The carries for Immortals. Rolster Y, they still have health bars. They can still make this happen. They're resetting. Zero's gonna back and get a teleport.
No more Baron.
Doe's onto Charm, no Baron push, but they can get these inhibitors regardless. There's a teleport coming in from Zero. And the turrets are going down. Inhibitors are down. Doe's onto Hoon. RY, can they make the push? Nomel goes in. Immortal still defending, but their super's in the mid wave.
Rolster Y, how are you alive? They're still looking for more!
Oh! Big explosive cast! Luna's down! He had flash, he had everything, RY! Low health bars will down to the Nexus! Can Immortals hold the line? RY focusing the Nexus! Guardian Angels are popped! They have the minions! It's down to the minions! Rolster Y! The #1 seed from the WCK advanced to knockouts!
They did it! They won the unwinnable game! They were on that timer! They did it! Rolster Y! takes the 2-0 victory against Immortals.
How do they do it? Every time! These late game decision making of this team, it's beyond words.
They're way too good. Immortals should have won that one. Immortals should have won game 1, but they didn't. Rolster Y taking both games, winning at 2-0 fashion. But that was the closest series we have seen up until now during the Wild Rift Icons.
It was a 2-0, but it felt like a 3-2. It was that close throughout. And Rolster Y just clutched these games time after time. This is the #1 seed from Korea. They made it out of groups at Horizon Cup. They made it past quarterfinals at Horizon Cup. This is a region that is trying to make a statement as the only non-SDA or Chinese team left in the entire tournament. There's 4 WRL teams, 3 WCS teams, and 1 WCK team.
And the West got knocked out as well today. No more West in the top 8, the knockout stages. Indeed, this is so big. So big for Rolster Y to make it in here. Showing Korea why they can be proud of this team, and you can see them. They're so happy, but these guys need a break after this series.
I think I need a break after this series. It was, oh my, that was
got a small break.
That was some fun. That was some fun Wild Rift.
That was the best series
right there.
I've seen.
And if NA's gonna go down, at least we went down pushing this team to their absolute limit. I empathize with the players. It's tough. They wanted to get this win. They got revenge against Liberty yesterday for taking out Sentinels in the play-ins. And they were close in this series here.
So close. Not just close. They were so close. Just... Oh.
But at the end of the day, the better team wins the Wild Rift game. And today, that was RY. It stings to say, but it is the truth. I'm not gonna acknowledge it. I need to emotionally process first. So to give me some time, let's send it back over to Degon and the analysts to break down that game.
I hope you and Old Glory are ready to get that one taken off. I hurt. Like, I'm trying to process. I was like, hey, how do I come onto this desk? Obviously, congratulations to Rolster Y and Immortals for putting on the best series of the day.
Oh, for sure.
All the way.
Of groups even.
Those are 2 absolutely soul-crushing losses for Immortals here. A game that they should have won and a game that they should have won back-to-back. And I think as a North American fan, it hurts a lot. But when you're looking at Rolster Y, there's one player standing out above the rest that in the clutch time has shown up to allow the damage dealers to deal the damage here.
Yeah, Nomel was absolutely massive in the last few sequences. I think his performance this game, this series, was what really let Rolster Y pull through to a win. But I can't not mention his lane partner as well. Luna has been absolutely insane, dishing out the damage and exactly the right position. He's been so hard to kill as well. If you're Immortals, you gotta be scratching your head trying to kill him.
And Luna was a player that came into last year, the Horizon Cup as well, was one of the stars of the Horizon Cup last year. And he's proven this year as well that he is still one of the stars. He's still one of the best Dragon laners in this entire tournament. And he even pulled out the Ziggs this game as well. Like you said, you know, even on the Ziggs, he felt like he was just unkillable. There was points where we were like, oh, he's dead. He's surely dead. And then he just somehow survives. He somehow mechanically survives. And he still dishes out enough damage to win these fights as well. I think, you know, like you said, Nomel as well. Like Nomel, insane performance as well. This is a substitute coming in. I think people at home don't realize, like, exactly, role swap from mid lane to support, came in as a substitute, and he's been by far, in my opinion, one of the best players out of this entire group stage.
Yeah, again, replacing Salem, whose contract ended, did not get renewed, and you see exactly why. Full faith in Nomel to execute in the most of clutches of times. Oh, not like this.
This play was so clutch as well, just playing around the vision so well on the side of Rolster Y. And you know what the sad thing is for Immortals? Both of those games were completely winnable. They didn't lose because of mechanics. They didn't lose because of shot calling. They lost because they just lacked that one last bit of creativity, of experience. Honestly, if Immortals comes back next year, I think they review the VODs and they know how to win these games. It was perfectly winnable. A little bit more experience would do this. Immortals squad won this.
Oh, Zello is going to go back and look at at it. One more time, gets knocked up.
Johnny at the knockup.
Two more, yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
One or
The
two
backs
more
didn't
of
get
those.
stopped there either,
Yeah.
so the rest of the team didn't fully help. But
Hindsight 2020.
one
right?
auto attack there. People saying TP, you know, use Destiny Gate and get the auto attack proc there from Lichbane. But either way, Immortals ended up backing off, trying to fight it off a couple more times. And Hoon, even in this fight here, just constantly looking for these gold cards. Right here, I thought this one was crazy that he's still like looking for these angles this much. All the meanwhile, Doe in the mid lane on the Kazakhs looking for the ult angle, and eventually Rolster Y doubled down onto their GAs, buying the time and just trying to use their stats to close it out, and it worked out for them.
When the creeps came in, they realized we had the GAs, we have the numbers advantage, we just need to click on the Nexus, and the numbers will do the trick.
It came down to such
This killed
small
Luna.
moments. It really came down to small moments in this game. You know, the first game, it was all down to the Elder, like right at the end, and even this game, Immortals took the Elder, and it came down to just the Nexus, like one or two more auto attacks on the Nexus, and there's so many little plays that you can probably look back and just analyze so much. You know, maybe it's just one more auto attack was needed, maybe one missed ability as well. This is the small things that a game like Wild Rift comes down to. You know, one missed ability, one missed auto attack can be the difference between the win and lose.
Yet again,
And you
the
can see as
exact
well,
same gold chart. A complete roller coaster. It's just, Immortals lost with gold lead yet again. Of course, you can say in the 30-minute game, the gold lead doesn't really matter. Everyone's full build. That's what you pointed out as well. It's just so heartbreaking. Immortals did all the due diligence needed to win the game. They were all the way up until the finish line in both games. And honestly, it's so sad for them because a little bit more experience, I really think they could have won both those games.
Right, and remember, a 2-0 here, not a 2-1, and like
Didn't
you
feel
said,
like a
felt
2-0.
like a 3-2. It's a 2-0, so
Yeah.
Rolster Y get away, but Immortals having 2 wins slip away just feels so... I think it feels worse for Immortals than it does feel good for Rolster Y. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Rolster Y, again, made it to the group stage over at Horizon Cup, so they're used to being in the conversation as a top 3 region, but North America being on the footstep of that, being one of the first teams here in the West, possibly able to do that 2 times in a row. It just hurts there for Hoon and the rest of the squad. And again, multiple people step up in multiple different games there. Your heart goes out to Zello, who's had a standout performance as a substitute and very much took the game's resources and was just literally an auto attacker.
I mean, he went from going to like the Wukong in the first series that he's played to now on the Jax on one of the carries, and I feel like he was definitely a big star for Immortals, you know, in this tournament. I feel like Zello has definitely stepped up, obviously coming from, I believe it was Cloud9 before, coming into Immortals, you know, with such little time, such little practice as well. Coming into this Immortal squad, I feel like he's definitely been a shining star. But I mean, for me, in terms of like the Western teams, we always talked about, you know, how big the gap was between the Western teams and the Eastern teams. You know, even though we don't get any Western teams in the knockouts, I feel like Brazil and America have definitely done a great job for the Western teams.
Yeah, I genuinely feel like even though there were a lot of losses here for the West, Brazil lost 2-1, NA lost 2-0. These games were not stomps. These games were not one-sided. I think next year we might see a much more competitive league. But for now, 3 teams from the WCS, baby.
All right, well, there you have it.
He's the only one that's happy. He's the only one.
It hurts. Well, right now we have an interview with Mika standing by as we close out the day.
Thanks so much, guys. I am here with Zero of Rolster Y. Congratulations on that win. You have to let us know. Game 2 was crazy. One of the craziest games that we've seen so far here at Icons. Let us know how you guys were able to stay so calm, especially when Jax was at your base.
일단 승리 너무 축하드리고 특히 게임 2는 완전 이번 대회에서 가장 미친 경기들 중에 하나였는데 특히나 잭스가 베이스에서 휘젓고 있을 때 어떻게 마음을 다잡을 수 있었는지 궁금해요.
그때 이거 무조건 막아야 된다고 다 쿨해서 땡겨서 진짜 겨우 막은 것 같아요.
We all did call that we had to defend it, and I think our desperation really allowed us to make a comeback there.
Wow, like a second win. That's pretty amazing. How did you guys prepare for this match? Were you guys confident? Were you guys worried?
이번 경기는 어떻게 준비하셨나요? 자신이 있으셨는지 걱정을 하신 점이 있었는지 말씀해 주세요.
사실 첫 세트, 두 세트 둘 다 저희가 좀 많이 해봤던 조합이라 되게 자신이 있었는데 상대가 좀 예상치 못한 픽으로 좀 맞받아 쳐가지고 그거는 좀 당황했지만 그래도 저희 거 해서 이겼던 것 같습니다.
So our team combination in both game 1 and 2 were combinations that were very familiar to us. So we were pretty confident, but then the opponent team obviously countered with some unexpected picks. So we were a little worried there, but because we did our own plays, I think we could win.
Well, I'm sure there are a lot of WCK fans that are very, very proud to have a Korean representative now in the playoffs. Do you have a message for all of them?
WCK 팬들이 이제 노가웃 스테이지에 한국 팀이 올라간 거에 대해서 매우 기뻐하고 계실 텐데 메시지 한 번만 보내주세요.
이번에는 저번 호라이즌컵에서는 4강을 갔으니까 이번에는 결승에서 뵙겠습니다.
We made it to the semifinals in last year's Horizon Cup, so this time we'll see you guys in the finals.
Best of luck to you guys and the rest of Rolster Y0. That was certainly a closer shave than we expected for you guys. And guess what? There is another close shave happening right now on the analyst desk. Over to you guys.
This is why Mika Fabs is the best in the business.
Did you see what she did there?
That's called
That was
a smooth transition.
That was smooth.
Very much like what Kangus's chin is about to feel like. All right. With that, the group stage is over, and Icons 2022 moves into the third and final stage
Unnecessary.
knockouts.
That was good.
The
That
top
was
8
good.
teams will fight it out until only one remains. At the end of all this, we will crown our first Wild Rift Global Champion. All right, as you see now, we've got the man with the clippers, Hell's Devil, about to give Old Glory a nice little shave there. Kangus bet the beard on the win, and here goes the beard. That's probably
I'm
like
gonna
10
be the last
pounds.
guy to touch the beard.
10 pounds of hair.
So that honor is on me, and now it's turned
Last
on.
man
Wait,
to
Hells,
touch
Hells,
it.
do it again and look at the camera. Touch it, look at the camera.
Got it.
Clip that.
That's next year's
Oh
Rising Cup.
no.
Oh,
Instructing him on the farm.
Keep going. Come on, Hells. You gotta go fast. We're burning TV time, baby. Oh man.
Steve said you literally can't cut him, so just go for it.
No, don't. Just be careful. Be careful. All right, don't listen to
I'm
Omo.
doing fine.
Don't listen to Omo and Sharp Objects. Keep going and go at a quick pace. here.
He's trolling me. He just doesn't want to get shaved, but it's
Oh
happening.
no! He's just taking a chunk out of it.
Oh no, look at this.
Oh no!
How's the farm? How's Hell's Devil's farm here?
It's not great. It looks like Kangus has gotten in a fight with a cat and lost. And it's
I feel like Kangus just has
indecisive.
a bunch of patches now. It's just
Yeah.
there's not really any.
Oh no! Kangus, look at the camera for us,
Other
please.
other side, take it off.
Oh, one more. Give me one more.
Oh no! What is?
Okay, all right. While Kangus continues to get his shape up
Be
on
strong.
his face, let's take a look at the knockout stage as all of the spots have been claimed by the top 8 worthy opponents. It starts at the top with Nova against Rolster
Wow.
FPX against RRQ, J-Team versus Flash Wolves, and Jindong Gaming versus Team Flash.
Absolute bangers. Every single one of these matchups have something to install for us all. I think the stylistic matchups is something we're going to be very excited to unpack as well. But most importantly, I think for the viewers, the mechanical talent in play here, just insane.
Yeah, I mean, I look straight there at the top. Can Luna out-carry Long here?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, that's a big one.
Doe's getting worked a little bit as we see it yet again. Oh my gosh. It looks like there's a 7 on
Yeah.
Kangus's
This side is
face.
done.
It looks
Yeah.
like this. It looks like,
Who's that? I gotta do this side.
that looks like my gym teacher, Mr. Kangus. All right, as Kangus continues to get that shape up, let's take a look at our quarterfinals starting on July 1st. We've got Nope versus Roster Y, then Fun Plus Phoenix versus RRQ. These are big ones here as the
Exciting stuff.
WCK has collected their spot, and they've got that nice matchup there. And then RRQ, one of the most exciting squads of the tournament, have a big test for him with FPX.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy task for sure, Egon.
Yeah, and then here we go, our second day of quarterfinals. It'll be J-Team versus Flash Wolves and JDG versus Team Flash, a full
Man.
WRL versus WCS affair.
This is going to be insane. I think that first one, J-Team against Flash Wolves. Can Bruce do it? Can Bruce be the carry for Flash Rules to take down one of the WRL teams.
I mean,
it's so exciting.
Sarah was helping out.
Yeah, and Ysera as well, to be fair. Ysera was a big one. Flash Rules look good.
All right, and for those of you in Singapore, come on down to the Icons Fan Zone at the Marina Bay Sands Convention and Expo Center to watch the games live. It'll open an hour before the show each day, and there's tons of free swag, great food, and a chance to get a pic with the trophy, as well as a ton of your favorite influencers coming into town.
I know my favorites will be there.
Who's your favorite?
I don't know. I'm just messing around. I'll be there maybe.
All
Hopefully.
Oh,
look at
there
that.
he is.
He's back.
Oh!
240 something days. I forgot what the speech was that Kangas gave, but there he is. And we start at day 0 as Kangas has taken it all off yet again. Kangas, how's it feel, man?
Feels wrong.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
just like the
But-
result of those 2 games here as North American fans.
You know what? You know what, Degon, and all the NA fans at home? It's going to look really good in another 220 days.
Until next year.
All right. I did not know they made hair products named Copium as well there, Kangas. Thank you very much for that. Hells and Kangas, great job on the day. Guys, it has been such a fun group stage. It's been great to see the top 8 teams, but now we have quarterfinals awaiting us. For everyone here, thank you so much for watching on behalf of myself, Omo, Stuart, Hells, Kangas, all the casters that cast today and the ones that were off. We thank you so much for watching. It's been a fun time, and we're not done yet. Quarterfinals start July 1st. We'll see you then.
See you in knockouts.